My title is founder and CEO of Pace Youth Programs Incorporated. And the reason why I started it was a calling on my life into working with families of the incarcerated. But God took me through the wilderness to prepare me for it. So I worked with kids um, who were incarcerated, and parents were incarcerated also, so it was a different dynamic. And I learned quite a bit. So I've been in this field now for 20 years, and now I'm about to start working with families of incarcerated. I would have to say my style is a biblical leadership style where God is my guide. The Word helps and direct me. My goal is to love from a pure heart, a good conscience, and a sincere faith. And I'm very open to my team. Most of my team have been with me for years, so they know that they can come to me. We talk about it, and we find out ways how to make it happen. Not to discard it, but to look at maybe not put it on the table right away, but we will look at it, process it, and then respond to it. So I would have to say I have a biblical leadership style. It's based on my calling, my conduct, my character, as well as my knowledge and competency, and my. I would state that my gift is hospitality. And there's a passage of scripture in Philippians 2 and 3 that says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or in vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves." It does not state that I have to deny myself in that context, but it's simply saying to really just look out for the betterment of my fellow man or woman. I don't necessarily have a model that I'm per se following, because this started out as a ministry, as doing prison ministry, and I traveled around the state, and so kids that I saw in Crockett, Texas, one year, a year and a half or two later, I would see that same kid over in Jefferson County in Beaumont. So I figured it was time to put something in place that would help redirect the lives of kids who have gotten themselves in trouble. And I put myself in those shoes, even though I never spent any time in prison. I put myself in those shoes. What did I really need at the time when my dad was gone? And that's how Pace was really created. My self-image was down. I struggled academically. I had plenty of character flaws, and I knew eventually I was going to need a job. And so that's how Pace was born. And so it's kind of unique and different. I have experimented a lot with different things, like, for instance, for activities. I went to Papados one time and asked if they would do a table etiquette class for our kids. And they ended up doing it, and it was amazing, because one of the kids said, Doc, man, I can't wait to go home, man, and show my mom how to do American style, how to set it up, and that was priceless for me. And so I really didn't mimic anyone. Now I'm looking at the Amachi model out of Philadelphia. Reverend, I first forgot his first name, but it's Goody. I met him several years ago in California. He actually was a mayor for California, and he's a minister. And he started working with the families of incarcerated in Philadelphia. So I'm currently looking at that model now. I have several of my friends who are nonprofit CEOs and founders that I look up to now, because of just encouragement, and they've been in it for a long time, such as Dana Thomas, who's the CEO of the executive director of Forge for Families here in Third Ward. He used to be the director of Kids Across America in Missouri. Good friend of mine. And then Michael Haywood out of Brenham, Texas. These are my accountability buddies too. He's a director of Mission Brenham in Brenham, Texas. And so God has really, been my one who I've tried to mimic at, and well, Jesus and all of what he has done for me is